Hello, hello! Final Fantasy Black Mages Only was a bit of a wild ride through JRPG goodness, but it's time to hop back into our Souls game base. This is a series I've been looking forward to since completing the Sorcery Only Run series. Here's a card to that playlist. And I am very excited. I've never really played around with miracles outside of Elden Ring, and yes, I know they are called incantations in Elden Ring, but come on, they're miracles. So I'm excited to see how offensive miracles handle in Souls games. Start the game as a cleric because we're going to need a high faith stat immediately. Name our latest avatar Beard for some reason. I'm honestly really uncertain what I was going for here. You can't even have a beard in this game. Is that the joke? Was that the joke I was making? Anyway, game started and we reach our first roadblock. Kind of. See, unlike sorceries, you can't start the game with offensive miracles. No class has one. So, the Asylum Demon gets to be spared Divine Retribution because I'm just gonna hit him with my mace. So, no, you can't beat the game with only miracles, but that's okay. The Asylum Demon is a very easy boss regardless, and I'm not too upset that I have to just bludgeon it with a mace. Asylum dead, it's time to go on a long journey. See, I chose the Master Key as my starting gift. This lets me take the back way all around the world to get our very first miracle. Not gonna lie, this path took way longer than it really should have, and also made me decide that I was definitely going to be using a shield in this run, unlike the Sorcery Only. We reach the Undead Burg the back way and can light the bonfire near the Sunlight Altar. This will get us our first defensive miracle once we get our faith up to 25. You can technically reduce this requirement by helping in friendly invasions, but that will almost certainly take longer than just doing a bit of grinding. And yes, I do grind using my mace. I could get the dragon here to kill the hollows, reset, repeat, but for expediency, I just use my mace to get the couple souls I will need to progress. Don't worry, now that I have 25 faith and my first miracle, there will be no more mace shenanigans. From this point on, the challenge is in full effect, and I can only deal damage to enemies with miracles. Taurus Demon is our first victim of miracles, and it is comically easy. Taurus Demon is weak to lightning, and the base damage of Lightning Spear does not mess around. Taurus Demon dead, we hop up to the gargoyles. They are more durable, and there are 2 of them, but it's not enough to make a difference. Well, this is a much better start than Sorcery Only had. And thanks to the Firekeeper Soul I got from the area under the gargoyles, I can upgrade my Estus Flask to +1. Someday I should really make a list of where all the upgrades for flasks are in Souls games so I can actually remember where they are. I also stop by Petrus and pick up the Force Miracle. It doesn't deal damage, but knocking away enemies can be very, very useful. Next is a quick trip back to the Undead Asylum to see if I can take down Asylum 2 even bootier. And nope. And this isn't a skill issue. Don't worry, the skill issue will come later. It's actually a result of the limited number of offensive casts I have. Even if I hit with every lightning spear, Asylum 2 doesn't die, which highlights our biggest limiter in this run. So let's try to solve that by heading into the catacombs. There are a number of reasons this is a stupid idea, and it would take far too long to explain them all. So let's just say that I die a bunch and accomplish nothing. Okay, let's be a bit crazy. Instead of taking the normal progression path through the lower Undead Burg, we're going to take the pack way into Blighttown, because the first step on the normal path is Capra Demon. And I don't fancy my chances of winning the fight when he has dogs, the arena's small, and the casting speed of my spears is very, very low. The back way is relatively uneventful, and we can start trying to kill Quelaag, which, in theory, isn't too bad a fight. Her fire puddles can make maneuvering difficult, but I have lightning spears to attack from a distance. Except Quelaag is real beefy, and all 10 spears combined don't actually do enough damage to kill her. This is not great. So I have to do a bit of grinding to increase my faith enough to bring her down. This very limited number of castings thing is a big problem. Of all the issues I ran into in my Sorcery Only run, limited casts was not one of them. Then, Quelaag's sister has an unfortunate accident. Oh no! Who could have expected lightning to strike all the way down here? Upgrade my Estus Flask again with the Firekeeper Soul I just found lying around somewhere. Now it's time to do something to improve my spell access. Back into the catacombs, but this time I take the time to Google the fast way through. I simply don't have enough casts or AoE to deal with all these skeletons. Despite being here fairly early, Pinwheel still goes down quite easily. It is a bit closer than normal, just because the casting time on Lightning Spear is very, very slow. From here, I must run through the dark, dying several times, to get to the Patches Pit. I get knocked in as a fun prank, and, where is Rhea? And her entourage. I swear, if I messed up a crucial NPC quest line again... Oh, they won't show up until Capra is dead. Okay then! Time to run through the Undead Burg, which only takes one attempt, thanks to Force being able to throw enemies away from me. And then the Capra fight is pretty easy, actually. Despite the small arena and the dogs, Force, combined with the stairs, actually gives me enough room to maneuver and get some lightning spears off. That done, it's back into the catacombs to actually rescue Rhea. Then we kill Petrus, because he'll just be a problem later. Then we can find Rhea in the Gargoyle Church and buy Wrath of God. This is like Force, but it deals damage. So now our offensive options have expanded. Okay, time to start problem solving. We have no real way to get more offensive spells for a while, so we need to figure out how to get their damage up. First, we rescue our Pyromancy teacher. He doesn't have anything I want to learn, but he does give me his Pyromancy flame. Back into Blighttown, and we boil this creature to get power within. This boosts our damage for a while, and while it does damage, it only deals damage to us. Then, back along the Dragon Road to get the red Tearstone Ring. This boosts my damage when I'm below 20% health. These options give us a wide array of ways to buff our damage depending on the HP of the boss and how spicy we wish to be. Ideally, we won't ever need both, but we do have them. Then I hunt down the Moonlight Butterfly. It's an optional fight, but I was in the area, and it's a very easy fight and gives a decent number of souls. With the damage buff, higher faith, and some new spells, I head back to Asylum. Why, you ask? Because I'm stubborn, and he hurt my feelings. And then he hurts my body. A lot. I have to rely on Asylum to kill the hollows that follow me into the pit because I have so few spells, and the arena is quite small compared to the boss's variety of AoE attacks. Lightning Spear's casting time is so slow. Too bad nothing improves casting speed in this game. Time for Sen's Funhouse. I did pop in here briefly earlier to chat with our onion friend, who once more is integral to our journey later on. Thankfully, I'm familiar enough with the fortress by now to get through relatively easily, and Force helps a lot to clear the way. Up top, we face the Iron Golem. I forgot to kill the giant that throws firebombs, which isn't ideal, and failed to get the Iron Golem to fall to its death, because I'm not good at it. But my damage is high enough, it just doesn't matter. And Orlando itself goes as expected, grab the miracle boosting ring, and into the main palace itself. Except I can't use the stair skip because I need to find Onion Friend. Thankfully, rescuing him is very easy with Wrath of God. He doesn't give me anything here, but now he'll move back to Fireling's Shrine once I beat the next boss. I am not looking forward to the next boss. Orny and Smoo. Two enemies, both of which can cover a lot of ground, and my lightning spear casting time is absolutely awful. Except, I do have Power Within and Wrath of God. Combined, I can actually take down Orny using all three casts. Not ideal, but it only takes a few tries to land all three. Then Smoo. His lightning defense is higher in Phase 2, but not that much higher. I have to play aggressively to land as many lightning spears as I can while Power Within is still active. It's difficult, and it does take a few tries, but after exhausting every single offensive miracle I have, Orny and Smoo go down. That means we get the Lord Vessel, we can warp, and our first destination is back to Firelink Shrine. Onion Friend will give us Emit Force, another damaging miracle to add to our limited roster. We then place the Lord Vessel, and it's time to collect us some Lord Souls. Down into the fire area is our first destination. Ceaseless took a couple tries because I've been pumping all my souls into Faith, so my health is not good. Fortunately, you don't have to fight him legitimately. Then run to Asylum Fire Demon, which is annoying for all the reasons Asylum 2 is a pain, AoE hitboxes that are really bad, and my miracle casting speeds are absolute trash. Wow, I wish there was a way to boost casting speed in this game. Then Centipede, which is annoying, but not actually for the fight itself. My health is so low, I die several times just trying to get to the safe corner to actually fight it. Once there, Lightning Spears and Wrath of God make quick work of it. Centipede done, we have another short grind to get through. By opening this path and killing these sunlight maggots, we get the light helm we'll need for the catacombs a bit later on. But killing the maggots also occasionally grants us sunlight medals. We have picked up 3 while in Orlando, and we get 7 more here, and it lets us give them to unlock the Greater Lightning Spear Miracle at the Sunlight Altar. This is the last of our offensive miracles, and is great because it's stronger than regular Lightning Spear, and means 10 more offensive casts. Then the Bed of Chaos is the Bed of Chaos. Not too many bosses left, and our offensive options have basically reached their max. I decided to take on Seath, as my lightning damage is actually useful in the archives. I kill the boars at the entrance really easily. Never knew they were so weak to lightning damage. Then up the elevator into Seath's arena and die. And I forgot to pick up a Purging Stone. So I die a few times trying to unlock the way to the next bonfire so I can warp back to Firelink, buy a Purging Stone from this old woman, and fix my stupid HP bar. This is the first time in any of these runs that I've actually remembered the way through the archives, so I don't have to spend hours dying here pointlessly. Into the Seath fight, and look! A crab has decided to join us. Wait, not crab, oyster? I guess we'll call it an oyster. I have to kill it while avoiding Seath's attacks. Really expected lightning damage to be better against Seath, the dragon. But fine, his attacks are very telegraphed from a distance, and I have more than enough miracles to bring down the stupid thing. Then I go kill Sif, because I will need the ring they drop to go into the abyss a bit later on. Stop back at Rhea to purchase a few spells I probably don't want, and then kill her to get her talisman. It turns out this isn't better than the one I already have, so that was a complete waste of time. Then I stop by Andre to upgrade my armor a bit. Probably not worth it, and talismans can't be upgraded in this game, but my health is pretty low, so every bit of durability helps. Back into the catacombs, another area that I have finally actually learned my way through, and unlike my first 2 trips, I have the sunlight maggot to light the way. Time for a fight with Nito. Which is actually fairly tricky. My damage is good, but I have nothing to really get rid of his ads, especially when I wasted Wrath of God at the outset when no skeletons were even near me. Because I'm a moron, apparently. It still only takes 1 attempt, but it could have been way easier if I hadn't been an idiot. Wrath of God for groups, lightning spears for single targets. Get that through your head. Anyway, brief trip back to Orlando to kill this Firekeeper to get another soul and another Estus boost. Then down to New Londo. Grab another Firekeeper soul that I forgot was here. Okay, another Estus upgrade. My run to access the seal is as harrowing as normal because I don't have enough miracles to even pretend to fight the 9,000 ghosts in this area. Drop down to the no longer drowned area and run to the 4 kings. Except I keep getting distracted picking up items on the way, which stops my running, and I get killed. This is what competence looks like, folks. Okay, Four Kings time. This is a DPS check, as always, and I have decent miracle coverage, power within, and some chunky armor. And this fight does not go great. With the kings being weak to lightning, I really expected my damage to be better. It is not. It takes a handful of tries to get the right level of aggression, especially with power within constantly damaging me, and my spells casting so very slowly. I even have one where I disconnect mid-death. Okay, glad I was mid-death and not mid-victory. Gonna play the rest of the game in offline mode. That's called self-care. Finally, despite some narrow health margins and too many kings, the Four Kings go down. Nothing left to do but bring down the Lord of Light himself. 4 souls fed to the flames, time for Gwyn. Not expecting this fight to be bad. I already took down other bosses that are way trickier with relatively little issue, and Gwyn is notoriously easy to kill. He is resistant to lightning damage, but I have plenty of cast to make up for that. And then the fight goes bad. He can be parried, but I haven't actually parried all game, and I'm really out of practice. And even when it works, only Wrath of God is fast enough to cast before he can start attacking again. Meaning the openings aren't what they need to be, and he jumps around the arena too fast to keep any distance. Wait, dexterity increases cast speed? Wish I'd known that. Not that I really had any spare stats. Okay, let's take a break as this isn't working. I need a new plan, because what I'm doing is dying. Even with power within's damage boost. And a brief look around the wiki finds what might be my answer. Back into the dark route, and it's time to kill the Hydra. With the Hydra dead, a golden golem spawns that can be easily killed. With it dead, Dusk appears. Chat with her ghost, and her crown appears in the back of the area behind the Hydra. Dusk's crown boosts the damage of my miracles at the cost of reducing elemental defenses. The elemental debuff isn't ideal, but the extra damage is really what I need. Time to throw myself at the boss again. And again. And again. I try heavy armor, try less heavy armor, try barely any armor. In theory, combined with power within, 3 Wrath of Gods should almost be enough to kill Gwyn. But parrying is so out of practice, I just can't get the timing. I should probably call it for the night. I've been playing for hours. I'm tired, I'm angry, I refuse. I'm losing because I've lost my focus, lost my center. Take a deep breath. Feel the miracles within. This isn't a god. This is a craven man who would rather burn forever than just let go. You are not him. You are not some desiccated sack of regret and fear. Find the focus. Find your center. In the end, the fight is so easy as to be dull, anticlimactic. I wasn't losing this fight to a failed king. I was losing it to myself. And as soon as I realized that, the battle is won. I don't know what god bestowed this wrath on humanity, but it's mine now. My wrath, my judgment. With wrath exhausted, a single emit force, a gift freely given, destroys whatever remains of Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. False god destroyed, I choose to light the flame. To leave would be to create a new lord, another false ideal. Neither option appeals to me. The world is broken, and I haven't the strength to fix it. Perhaps, when my flame starts to fade, another hollow will make their way here with a solution to this puzzle. Until then, I can only wait and burn.